101 with a Glo Minerals makeup application. We're going to be using the Liquid Satin 2 as the foundation. So the big benefit with Glo Minerals is that it is pure minerals. It is loaded with vitamin C, A, K, and E. It is a pharmaceutical grade, so it is very pure and clean. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing for Kay is I will be applying a concealer, a natural concealer underneath her eye and around and up top her lid to take care of any redness or different pigments, evening it all out. I'm going to close my. I'm applying to the top of the lid, and I'm going to have you look all the way up. And I'm also applying on the bottom. A lot of people forget to apply on the top of the lid because they just think it's for underneath and for taking a shadow away or covering the darker circles. Actually applying it to the top of the lid gives it more of a finished look. I'm going to be close. Again, creating a very even canvas. And I'm using a wider bristle brush. There is a concealer brush that you can use. I just want to get a very even coverage and broad coverage, which is why I'm using the same brush. This is the concealer brush that you could also use for fine detailing. I'm going to have you look all the way up. Just kind of smudge it up underneath that lower lash line. I'm going to go ahead and take the liquid foundation, the Satin 2. Now, every Glo Minerals makeup product does have an SPF of 15, so you are getting very good protective coverage. This product does sit above fine lines and wrinkles, so you don't ever have to worry about settling into pores or creases or anything like that. Now, I'm using the liquid foundation just because we're in that harsher part of winter where we want just that little bit of extra coverage. And I am just kind of applying it very loosely all around forehead, the main areas. Because liquid foundations, people usually describe them as a heavy foundation. We want to just create a very light coverage with a heavier product. So applying it in general areas, forehead, cheek, and chin area, and then spreading from there. It makes it easier to get that flawless airbrush coverage because we're just working that product. And what's great about using this nice pure liquid foundation that we have is that we can go ahead and mix it with a moisturizer to create more of like a tinted coverage, a tinted moisturizer coverage. So you're getting the hydration of a moisturizer, but still getting your good coverage. So there you are. That is the full coverage then. And you can see her redness in the nose area is gone. Even coverage throughout the eyes, and she's got flawless, beautiful skin. So that would be basic coverage for Kay. I'm going to go ahead now and add a sun-kissed bronzer because, again, it is winter and we all need to look a little glowing. So the sun-kissed bronzer does have two tones, a darker and a lighter, and I'm just going to go ahead with a loose bristled blush brush or bronzer brush, and I'm going to apply it right underneath that cheekbone. Work it underneath that jawline, just to create some nice contouring. Showcase those eyes and cheekbones, but still giving her some added warmth. And that is where people make a mistake again. They think their foundation should have all the warmth that they need, where really you need to find your exact skin tone and then you can go ahead and add a bronzer to create. I'm going to go ahead with the same brush, get a nice blush. Now you see in today's trends that it's not such a fiery red, orangey tone, it's more of a soft pink, pale tones. Appropriate for the season, and also the client's skin tone. Alright, so that would be her complete foundation, bronzer, and blush included. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the eye. I have picked two. I'm going to do a tonal shadow. I'm going to do a very light base. The color is called Diamond, and I'm going to go ahead and create the shadow with a steel blue shimmer called Mermaid. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up my base brush with a highlight in that diamond color. I'm going to apply it all the way from the inside crease of the eye, all the way up to the brow line there. Working that bright color all the way through the whole palette of the eyelid. You want to create a very light base, so as you add your shadow, the product will only get lighter. You will never have to worry about facing that black eye effect or anything. People get very cautious and leery about creating dimensional shadows because they think it always looks like a black eye. If you base it with a nice light color, you don't ever have to worry about that, and follow your eye like a stencil, you'll never have to worry. So I'm going to go ahead with that darker the mermaid color. I'm going to focus on the outside crease of her eye. Just creating like a darker shadow in there. I'm not blending it quite yet. I'm going to work that dark color on her lash line. I'm going to have you open your eye just for a second and take a look at the camera here. The iris of your eye, the colored part of your eye, is an area that you really don't want to go too far past or spread too far past with that darker color. You want to work from outside corner of your eye up around that crease, outside corner of the eye, to about halfway through, and then go through, maybe close, and blend from there. That's where you can work in that color. But always start with that darker color on the outside. You never want to worry about having that darker color start at the center, because then it's going to become very bold and very blunt, and it's going to be difficult to blend. I'm going to have you close. Open please. I'm going to do the same color. Alrighty, so I have that color, and I'm going to just go ahead with the highlight again. I'm just going to really enforce some bright shimmer right through that corner of the eye there, because that's really going to be like a flasher for people to look at and say, oh wow, big bright eyes. That's what we want. And Kay has beautiful blue eyes, so we're just enhancing that a little bit. Before I add the liner, I am going to fill in her brows just a little bit. Kay does have a lighter tone of hair, blonde, with some low light in there, but a lot of blondes will say, I don't want my brows to be darker, I don't want to add extra tone, they'll look too bold. They actually will not. We just want to take away that dusty effect to them. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a lighter brown. I'm going to go ahead and follow her natural shape. I'm not going to build, I'm not going to extend or anything. Just add a little bit of depth through there so you don't look so light. Finishes just a little bit. What do you think so far, Kay?
Perfect.
Perfect. Now, are these
just
tones?
like me.
What's that?
This looks just like me.
Does it? Good. So, I am going to take the softness of a brown liner with Kay. I just want to focus on how bright her eyes actually are. So I just want to be adding a little bit of a diffused line to her eye. Nothing too harsh or anything. And now we use a cream liner. Glo Minerals has cream liner. This is espresso. And I'm applying it with a very flat, bristled brush, small. And it creates, you can create a very thick, harsh line. You can create a very soft, smudge, smooth line. Whatever you would like. That's what's nice and versatile about this product. You can manipulate it whatever look you would like. Working from outside in. Again, I like to create little safety nets for myself, much like applying that lighter base first. I like to work from outside in. I never want to start, again, too harsh towards the center of the eye because then it just becomes a line that's very difficult to diffuse and blend in. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and add a lower liner, again, nice and diffused. I'm going to have you look all the way up for me. If you need to blink, you may. We're just going to kind of dab and blot in. This color actually makes it seem like you have very blue-green eyes, like a sea color. I think they're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Now, how do you feel about that? Does that feel too heavy, or how does that make it feel on you?
The colors, yes. Colors are what I would wear.
Great. I like that. I like that a lot. So, one of the last things I'm going to do is I am going to apply some mascara. I'm going to have you kind of look right down at the key part. Perfect. And I'm just going to wiggle from lash line up and scoop up. Wiggle and scoop up. I'm going to work out and in. Again, wiggle lash line and scoop out. Great, I'm going to have you look more straight. And I'm just going to barely touch those bottom lashes just to give them some definition. Alrighty, and lastly, I'm going to add just a little bit of lip gloss. I want her to have something nice and bright for the day, so I am actually going to use the color it's called Flirt. It's a very light, soft pink. I'm just going to be applying it with a light brush as well. So I'm going to muck those together. What do you think about that?
It's great.
I love it. I think that looks great. I like the nice even canvas, but it still has a little bit of definition under the cheekbone. I like the eyes. I like how that pops a little bit. Nice and smooth, and I like that finished sheen on the lip. So that was